This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Trigger warning. This episode contains references to drug use and mild artistic nudity. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is Loki's Gift. It was written by Lackey and Mike Mason, and it's available from Chaosium. Keith Craig is our keeper of arcane lore, and this is episode 5. Our recap will be given by Morgan Llewellyn as his character, Archie Lovell. So, without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Morgan?
Thank you, Thom. Well, it would appear that I am in quite a predicament. You may find it hard to appreciate the complexities of the situation I'm in, but I ask for your best attempt at understanding. This is all part of our investigation into the untimely death of young Charlie Gladstone by his own hand, or perhaps at the hands of some kind of accident involving, I'm almost too embarrassed to say it, an attempt at performing or evoking a kind of magical power. In the course of our investigations, I have come to the attentions of one Sir Wendell Whitlock, who decided to pay me a personal visit early in the morning. He apparently also decided to let himself in through my balcony window. This strange meeting culminated in a formal invitation to join the Elevated Order of Morpheus, as well as expressing the possibility that I could be its leader someday. I'm still not sure whether to be flattered or alarmed by this attention, especially considering the fact that Sir Whitlock is bound to, well, become fish enough to where he will need to spend the rest of his life underwater. Crazy, crazy, I know. But I have seen the gills with my own terribly sober eyes. The rest of my friends believe that I am not seeing or thinking straight. And they may be right, of course. But I'm having trouble disbelieving what I've been so clearly and repeatedly shown. Whitlock also informed me that Shillingsworth, that fellow in charge of the Artist's Mind group, may have gone too far astray and risked getting kicked out of the Elevated Order of Morpheus' good graces. His indulgences in hedonism, well, in keeping with some of the tenets of this vague him or he beneath the sea, seems to be at the point where it is interfering with other priorities of the Order, sharing too many secrets. His play, Loki's Gift, is his one opportunity to turn things around in that regard. This importance of the play makes the information I gained from one of his followers rather puzzling. You see, I asked her plenty of questions while I tried to paint her. The painting itself turned out horribly wrong, so much like a damnable human octopoid hybrid thing. I declined to show her such a hideous result, but that's besides the point. She told me that Chillingsworth cares far more about the after party of the play than he does the dress rehearsal. She has, apparently, along with everyone else who was staying with Shillingsworth, been practicing some kind of ritualistic dance with intoned words in some language they don't really know. Whatever he's up to, the intelligence that Shillingsworth is engaged in this kind of activity has caught the attention of the prominent members of the Pacific Club / the Elevated Order, and they want me to attend this after party to find out just what it is that Shillingsworth has planned. They also want me to continue to work on the task of bringing my friends into the fold, so to speak. My friends, of course, have also been busy recently, tracking down the whereabouts of the disgraced former doorman of the Pacific Club, as well as conducting more research into the strange language of the passcode and the mysterious statues that we've come to associate with the Elevated Order. And, along with this, They have expressed a great deal of concern about my interest in the elevated order and its interest with me, but they simply fail to see the beauty of it like I do. I'm sure that they'll all come around in the end. All in all, I believe that we all have a rather outre day ahead of us.
All right, excellent. So when we last left off, Sir Whitlock had bid adieu to Archibald as he was going to be escorted into the sewers so he could go to the Thames. And it was probably about 1 in the morning, and the rest of you had been downstairs being entertained by Holcomb while you were playing a game of billiards or all. But about the time that the last ball is sunk, you see Archibald coming back down the steps.
And actually, Sir Edward and I didn't go to the Pacific Club. We were headed to the Clementine instead.
Oh, you were going to go at night?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
We specifically decided to dress down so as not to be bothered by some street brigand.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, we'll come to that in a bit then.
Archie, how are you doing? How did it go?
Oh, me, I'm doing just fine, but it seems that good Sir Whitlock will not be with us much longer.
Oh,
I don't mean in the funeral sense. Don't get so down, Florian. Just in the sense that he's going to be traveling far, far away and means never to come back.
Holcomb, when you say that, he goes, yes, I knew the time was approaching for that.
Yes,
some
and
sort of trip abroad?
Yeah, in a manner of speaking. Um, he's very much interested, though, in this after party that Chillingsworth has planned. Do you know about the after party?
I've heard of it. I'm we have some concerns that he might engage in hedonism beyond that we're even unable to cover up with the authorities.
Well, that certainly does present a problem.
Yes.
Have you ever been to an after party? It's usually just everybody getting around, getting drunk after the performance.
Yeah, but this, from what I've come to understand, from because you weren't there for the rest of the painting session, Florian, but it seems to be quite an elaborate affair with costumes and dances and songs and another language.
Masquerade, huh?
No, less masquerade and more of a, I don't know.
Well, to each his own.
Well, I hope your meeting went well, Sir Archibald, and but the hour is getting late, and gentlemen, and thank you for coming, but I must retire for the evening.
Of course, we should.
Yes, it was too. Good seeing you.
Indeed, always a pleasure.
Yeah.
So tell me, Florian and Gordon, how did the rest of your days go? What did you manage to find out?
Well, not much. I'm much more I actually forget what I did.
Do research on the language and kind of
yes.
history.
I mean, there seems to be the involvement of the language itself is South Sea Islander, but I haven't been able to find much at all on it. It seems to be either a dead language or perhaps a mystical language. Like Enochian or something like that. Like maybe a constructed language, but they claim that it's older than mankind. But isn't that what they always say?
It's a little hard to have languages older than mankind now, isn't it?
And that's what I would say, unless you think that the fish can speak.
I mean, fish can be full of surprises.
Well, parrots can speak, and they're probably older than mankind, too.
True, but it's hard to think of them saying words.
So let's go back. What did you find out? Have anything new to tell us?
Well, I found out about the after party. I found out about Sir Whitlock's
Departure.
imminent journey away, departure, and the transition of leadership at the Pacific Club and the Elevated Order of Morpheus. I found out about this after party and its peculiar garb and uh,
What's-
seemingly ritualistic behavior that's being rehearsed too, almost as vigorously as they've been rehearsing the play. That's
Well,
what
it's
I have
funny,
found.
Is there a
I would have-
connection there? Is there a connection there, Archie, as far as you can tell? Loki's gift, this performance, and this ritualistic dance.
Well, since I have very little idea about what the play's contents will be,
Hmm.
I mean, other than something tricky and mischievous with that old Nordic trickster figure,
Hmm.
I think
I
Sir Edward was going to try and
certainly
obtain the
don't know.
musical score. Maybe we can discern something from if there's any text involved in it.
Yes, I
Well,
believe, wasn't he saying something about being quite moved by the music when he finally was able to play it?
Mhm.
indeed.
All right. Well, while you guys are pondering that, we'll cut over to Blake and Sir Edward. So you find your way down to the Whitechapel district. It is a very seedy part of town. As you walk along, you see there are some people sleeping in the streets. There are some urchins running around. So you probably want to make sure that your wallet is well protected and doesn't get picked. And things smell bad because it's where they move in livestock around, and there is an open sewer also just kind of dumping into the Thames. But yeah, it's definitely a large contrast to what you're used to.
I say, Sir Edward, your lower class costume is quite impressive. Did you borrow something for your coachman?
Yes, I mean, truth be told, I haven't been fitted for a suit of this quality in a long, long time. Old Jamison had to lend me this. Just so happens we're of very similar sizes. Oh,
Very
let me tell
helpful.
you, from what I can smell through my deviated septum, this place is, ugh, rather
Oh,
nasty.
yes, I brought a little oil of lavender. If you just put some under your nose, I find it cuts through the worst of the muck. Uh,
Yes.
we shouldn't tarry too long at the Clementine Club. Address again. It should be just along this. Let's not cut through any alleys, though. What?
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you find it. It is right on the Thames, and it's a two story building. Uh, looks a little like it's a little waterlogged and everything, but it's still standing. There's a little sign outside that says Clementine, but it looks like that sign hasn't been repainted in years. And so it's starting to fade away. And unless you were actually looking for it with an address, you would have just walked right past it.
In the hole in the wall.
I assume that the gentleman's facilities dump right into the river. Let's get it over with.
Oh dear.
Is there a knocker or?
There is not.
Probably
Right.
just, I mean, it's a club. I
Yes.
mean, do we hear the sounds of like noise and carousing inside?
You
Or
do
is it
hear
like,
you do hear voices, and like some
Fiddle music.
ladies' voices, some laughing, and there are male voices also coming from the inside.
Right. Yes, I think just barging in is probably in order. After you, Sir Edward.
Yes, and I will um, just confidently go for the door,
Okay.
open it up.
When you open it up, it's one of those places that like the neighborhood bar that you walk in, as soon as you step in, everyone stops and kind of looks around. There are several women here that are dressed rather provocatively, obviously women of the night. Uh, the men, they all kind of look at you, and you can both can give me spot hiddens.
Oh, wow. I know
Ah,
four. I'll need that later, but I got it now.
All right. Um, with which level
That's
did you get
extreme.
there, Edward?
I got a total failure on my
Oh,
end.
you got to fight. All right, yeah. So you come in, you're just uncomfortable. What you notice, Blake, their eyes are seem like just a little bit larger than people should have, and you could have swore that maybe when one has his head turned, that maybe he's got like little slits on the side of his neck. But
Mm.
then he adjusts his collar and it kind of goes away, and it smells very fishy inside.
Is there an obvious public bar?
There is a there is a bar.
So I made a point of bringing a little satchel with some lower coins in it that would make a nice clunk on the wooden top. So I'll
Hmm.
just stroll casually over, maybe nod at a couple of the staring fisher people,
Right.
Yeah.
avoid the gaze of the ladies.
As we're going in to calmly, casually walk towards the bar, and these people are staring at us, can I try and do like a maybe a charming smile and wave to make them not as suspicious, or
Oh,
put on some of the bluster?
you can very friendly wave at them, and whether or not they care is another story.
Fair enough. Just being awkward and not making anything better.
Hmm. Okay. So when you get to the bar, the bartender comes over and he's like going, yes.
Uh, Good evening. Trying to think of what the servants sound like. Um, uh, I don't mean to trouble you. Uh, I made an acquaintance at another club, a fellow named Robbins, and I haven't seen him around lately. And I heard he used to work here. I was wondering, I'm worried about the bloke. So I thought I'd buy my friend Eddie a drink or two and ask if anybody knew whereabouts we could find old Robbins.
Robbins. Seem to remember Robbins working here. He moved up into the a wealthier club.
Yeah, we met him at that place, and he seemed a real amiable fellow. And then he just vanished away all of a sudden. Do you know if he has got family in the area or some such?
No, he doesn't have any family in this on this land.
Hmm. And I'm, take a 50p coin out and sort of roll it between my fingers. So, do you know if he had a family in other parts then? Or he
I,
hasn't come back here to look for work?
no, he has not. Uh, I imagine he does have family, but I didn't really get to know him well. I don't know if I would call him a amiable fellow.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yes. Were you wanting a gin or something?
I put some
yes,
coins out. Double shot.
yes, for your time. Thank you.
Of course. He pours a slow gin for you.
Is it oily?
Uh, yeah, it's got like a little like not great day. I mean, it's cheap.
Yeah.
Bottom of the shelf.
Hmm.
To your health. Swallow stiffly. Couple more coins on the bar. Get all the ladies something as well on us. We've got another appointment. Thank you for your time.
Of course, of course. And he takes it and he kind of looks around at the ladies and a lot of you guys can all give me you can give me a psychology roll.
Alrighty.
Oh, see that I needed the 4 now, and I got to the 90.
Yeah, I got a 70 over 50. There is a part of me that is tempted to attempt a push here, maybe by being awkward and spending too much time chatting with some random fellow.
Okay.
You know what? Gotta live large.
All
Let's do
right.
this.
If you fail, someone's going to take that maybe you staring at the lady as you're trying to move in on the one he's claimed, and he's might start some fisticuffs with you. Heck,
Uh, you know what? It's a 50-50. I think I'm gonna play it safe.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Oh,
atmosphere is thick in many ways, even without
It
successful rolls.
it's definitely feels some, you know, hostile, awkward, but
mm-hmm.
can't really gauge much more than that.
Right.
Once we're clear of their earshot back on the streets. I say,
If
those
we get out,
fellows.
Yeah.
can we make it out the door?
Yeah, when you go into the door, one of the larger gentlemen, he kind of opens it, and the woman he kind of walks he kind of walks away from her. She looks at you, and you're almost positive she said help, like mouthed help.
How were how was she ocularly?
Uh, she she looks like if she had lived a better life, she would have been a quite an attractive woman, but poverty and prostitution has taken their toll. But ocularly, yep,
One
normal
of
size
us.
eyes, yep.
Uh, and the fellow who stepped away toward the door is opening it for us,
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
am and blast, Eddie.
Listen, let's just play it cool. It's
Yes,
totally not an anachronism.
let's nod at the gentleman and step out into the fog.
Yeah.
And you hear the door shut and like a little bar, yeah, come down, like how to lock it.
You know, I let's get a block away and stand under
Yeah, let's. I feel
a
like as soon as we
gaslight.
get out the door, we're kind of like we're not running, but we're speed walking away.
Speed walk.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering if there isn't some way we can. The Whitechapel police are probably entirely corrupt, but I'm wondering if there's some way we could gin up enough interest in that place to get someone to raid it.
well, it wouldn't happen anytime soon, but maybe I could try and throw some influence with Scotland Yard, see if they turn anything up, but it's a long shot and would take time.
Yeah, I imagine if she's on the floor and whispering help to the first stranger that she sees, that they have other girls downstairs in even worse predicaments
Yes, I
or
didn't like
upstairs.
the look at that fellow or that woman, but well, I'm not one for throwing fists much myself. With having to dress down, I couldn't bring my ivory-tipped sword cane. I'm not not much with on defenses at the moment.
No, the two of us alone in that place would have gotten gill slits of our own, I suspect, before we did much for the lass. At
We'd
least
be
that's where I'll.
lucky if there was enough of us left to dump in the Thames with the way they were sizing us up.
Well, wouldn't be surprised if we ended up bait. All right, let's get to a decent street, get into a handsome cab, go home and drink our sherries.
All
Yes, that
right.
was rather unnerving. Let's. Ugh.
All right. So you guys head back. The other three, were you headed back to your homes to sleep for the rest of the
If it's
early
late.
morning?
If
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
late, yes.
Yeah, it is.
yeah,
It is awfully late.
yeah. It's very late. All right.
Maybe today I'll latch the door on my balcony window, my balcony door. Uh,
All right.
Well, you seem sober enough that we'll let you go home on your own this time.
All right. So the Evan can give me a power roll for your night of sleep.
do
Oh,
I have any modifications?
you need no, you are you just a straight up roll for you.
Regular
Oh,
success.
Okay.
failure.
Failure.
58 is a regular.
Okay.
I got a hard with 31.
All right. Like an Archibald, you guys sleep sleep well. Uh Gordon and Florian, you guys failed. So this time your dream is you're in the ocean and you keep trying to come to the surface, but as you go up, these webbed hands with claws keep grabbing you and pulling you back under right when you almost feel like your head's going to break through. They keep pulling you under and pulling you under. And Edward, that your dream is you keep seeing your friends get pulled under and you can't seem to save them, like you're in a boat. You see them keep getting pulled back down. And after you've been down there long enough that logically you know that you would have drowned, you kind of give in and you start sinking down, and there's a city down there and you see a lot of things swimming around the city, and two of them are quite large, but they all seem to be swimming toward another city that you saw in your dream before, the one that the geometry doesn't make any sense, and that's when you wake up again.
Oh, I can breathe.
Water, no, no, no.
I'm going to immediately grab a pen and write down what I can remember, and then clean up for
Yep.
breakfast.
Same here.
Gordon is like used to this by now because I think he's had a bad dream like the past several nights now.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, something is up. So he knows like that that this cannot be a coincidence at this point.
Right. Okay. Right. All right. So it is late morning, which is about the time that you guys normally wake up. It is you know that this evening is the dress rehearsal for the Chillingsworth play. And so what would you like to do during the day?
Well, we all confer, obviously, together again,
Hmm.
Lunch
Yeah.
at White Club.
exchange information. I don't know. I want to say that something fishy is going on here, but I can't quite put my finger on it.
Well, the thing is, I fear that it's far more fishy than even you're uh, implying it to be. It's very, very damnably fishy indeed.
I mean,
Octopoidal, even.
consider, Archie, that they've only just met you, and you're in line for taking over the club.
What can I say? I make quite an impression. You can say
Apparently,
many things about me, but but not leaving an impression is not among those number of things that you can say about me. That was very clear. I always speak very clearly,
Yes,
always.
but don't don't fail to consider that they might have ulterior motives for you, not the ones they tell you.
Well, I hope those ulterior motives include buying my art, Florian.
I could help you sell your art, but
Yes, Archie, you just have to appeal to the middle class tastes. Then you will sell all the art that you
Ugh. I
want.
can't think of anything more ghastly, Gordon, than
Exactly.
that.
So you will remain a starving artist and perhaps be appreciated after you leave this mortal coil.
Well, I won't
um,
be starving for a long time after that bet with Sir Armstrong.
have any of us at this point in time encountered anything that we would consider dangerous? I mean, we haven't really gotten any closer to
Those
Well,
finding out what happened to Charlie, except that
Archibald apparently is seeing floating fish creatures that I have seen a man float in front of my very eyes. I would call that threatening, at least to my very soul, to see such a thing.
those fellows at the Clementine Club were rather hostile looking. And Blake, you said that you saw slits on some of their necks?
I mean, I assume it's mostly a sort of dive that fishermen work at on the river and all, and they probably have all kinds of scars. But one of them, it seemed as though his scar moved a little when I looked upon it. At any rate, they damnably unwholesome crowd in there. It looks like they've been sleeping with the product, if you know what I mean.
well, fishmongers do tend to smell like fish. It's a hard
Yeah.
smell to get rid of.
I'm afraid they kidnap women real repute as well. But
Maybe there's more to the old adage that you are what you eat.
yeah, they're on a strict halibut diet. It's altogether extremely grim, and I know nothing about Robbins, although apparently he was unpleasant there as well.
So there's a woman
Yes.
under duress. Should we go rescue her?
I'm not about to go barging in there and swing fisticuffs with those fellows. I'll end up a corpse in the Thames.
Something ought to be done. I don't know that it's exactly in the league of a group of particularly effete nobodies or somebodies.
Well,
Uh,
perhaps
the average.
I will reach out to my contacts and I write a little note to myself to contact someone after.
The ladies, some of the ladies were laughing and flirting as you'd expect, but one did seem to whisper, "Help," as we departed. So I think an investigation would be in order.
get the authorities involved, but don't let them know that we are the ones who contact the authorities.
Yeah, I think it's more a matter of a raid than a couple of aristocrats with penknives,
Ooh, what
Yeah,
kind of
send in the
place?
bobbies.
40 or
What
50.
what what kind of a reputation does this place have?
No, it's a backwater club in Whitechapel on the river.
Hole in the
Reputation
wall.
for being vile, I suspect.
Sign so
Well, no
fatal.
wonder they found that Robbins fellow there. It sounds like it was home sweet home for him of his type.
Sometimes I think the police are along the lines of if it was a gentleman's club, they would certainly not raid it. And if it was a, a collection of scum and villainy, they probably wouldn't raid that either because they'd be afraid to go in there. But maybe they would.
If it's a question of kidnapping, we might be able to gin up some interest.
Yeah, I was gonna reach out to my people that I know have like been in the military, like
Mm.
vets and that sort of thing. They'll handle things,
Hmm.
with the riffraff. So I'm gonna making a note to ring them shortly, telegram them. Not sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, regarding this evening, Archibald, did your model say anything about what sort of attire they're wearing to the after party, or are we as guests not meant to engage in fancy dress?
I I believe with any of this after party, I mean, we will be carried right along, but we're not part of the participants of whatever this thing is. We'll be spectators again like we were at the play.
Hmm.
or will be at the play. I mean, given that that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. It's a good thing I don't happen to have any French Revolutionary garb lying around.
I'm sure that if you want, Chillingsworth probably has spares. Although I fear
Florian,
you'll be much out of step with their
uh,
choreography.
honestly, choreography is not my strong suit anyway. Florian, are you going to spend more time on the weird gibberish, or should we go by the Chillingworth place and see the preparations for the big night?
I think the latter. I think the gibberish itself is an interesting, investigation, but I'm not sure that it's important. Uh, I'll continue that research, but that research will take time. I've sent a few correspondence to academic sources in the Bibliothèque de Paris and the one in Serbia. I don't know.
Right. Okay.
And that American one in Harvard or Miskatonic.
It'll take a while to get an answer from them. Okay.
That's because they have to ship the letter over on the boat.
Yeah. A long time. Okay, so you guys finish up your brunch and from what I heard you guys were going to go back to visit Chillingsworth.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
Okay. All right. You can make it back to the his residence again. There's lots of sounds of life coming from inside. You hear people talking. It sounds like some furniture is being moved around, and but yeah, people are definitely there.
Oh, do you know, is the after party in the theater or is it here? Maybe they're setting a grand second stage.
Well, it's
I
usually not in the theater. It's usually in a place of libation.
Yeah, I guess she never said where it was being held. I
There never
assume we
was a
find it out
place.
after the play.
And
The
this is
dress
just the
rehearsal
first rehearsal, the
concludes.
dress rehearsal, yes.
Well, one thing we know is we needn't knock, and I'll swing open the front door.
Okay.
Now that I think about it, isn't that kind of odd, Blake? Don't you usually have the after party after the last performance?
Yes, it's not unheard of to have, some celebration earlier in the run, but not generally after a dress,
A
because
dress
you want people
rehearsal.
to be fresh and not hungover
Well, they
for
haven't
the first
succeeded
performance.
yet.
Quite. Yeah, sometimes there'll be an opening party, or if it's a 3-day run, they'll have a little thing before the show goes on. But the big party is after the final performance, yes.
Yeah. I didn't
Again,
think of
he
that until
didn't
just
rent
now.
the place for long, but he's not even waiting for the third day. Yes, good point.
All right. Yep. When you open the door, there are there on the bottom floor. You see some people walking back and forth between rooms, and Chillingworth, he sees you and he's like going, "Oh, it's you again. Come in, come in, come in." And he's like going, "You're always welcome."
Too kind. We didn't bring flowers. We thought we'd wait till after the show.
Oh, well, that that is will be wonderful. I always like to have some flowers around. It might inspire me, you know. Is that going? Were you inspired to partake in some artwork? I have to say that we're a little busy, so I don't have any ladies available or opium to partake in right now.
Oh, well, to be honest, I was wondering if I could take a look at that beautiful statue that you had again.
Oh, well, of course. He's like, and he goes, it's right in here. And he, on the first floor, he takes you into a room and you see a table in the middle of the drawing room. There's several candles set up on it, and on like you know the little things that spin around. I was going to call them Lazy Susan, but I don't think that's the actual
Yeah.
name of it. But the statues on that.
I've been having some very interesting dreams lately of the sea and underneath the waves and cities sunken deep in the ocean.
Oh, that's wonderful, wonderful. Yes. How have they affected you?
Oh, they've made me very curious.
That's good. That's good.
The our little friend here seems to be tentacling his way into my mind.
Hmm. Wonderful pun. Yes, he is. He has a way to burrow in and all, but yes, he's like going. But there it is. You know, it's going to be one of the centerpieces of the party today because a lot of people are interested in it.
Well, we recently managed to speak with Sir Whitlock, an interesting man indeed.
Really? Hmm. He doesn't often talk to outsiders.
Well, he seems to be quite enamored of Archie.
Yes, I wouldn't quite call myself an outsider at this point.
Really? What do you mean by that?
Oh, I've seen what Sir Whitlock has become. In fact, I was there to send him off in his manner of speaking to his
Hmm.
trip.
It's
So
bon
it
voyage.
so he has gone to his new home.
Yes, I was there before he left, him and his guide.
Hmm. Didn't think it was coming so soon. I thought I had more time. But
Seems like time is awfully short always.
it is. But it is no worry. No worry. After the success of my play, they'll understand that what my vision is, and I'll be back on track.
Well, we'll see, Killingsworth. We'll see.
I hope you do. I hope everyone sees it. He's like, please come to the party afterwards. Also, you know, will be quite the celebration of my success.
Oh, I was wondering, like in the opera, do you have what do they call it? Is it a syllabus? No, it's
A play,
Playbill.
a playbill?
libretto.
Oh,
Well, when you go to the opera, you usually get a written thing of this is what the opera is and what it's all about and what's going to happen before you even see it.
Yes,
oh,
libretto, I believe.
uh,
Yeah.
no, no, we don't have that. Oh, I should have consulted you earlier. That would have been a wonderful idea. Wonderful.
Well, can you tell us what the play is about?
Oh, the play is an exploration of the human existence.
Somewhat avant-garde, then.
Yeah, yes, a little. It's a
Nouveau.
way to examine how mankind deals with his insignificance in the universe.
Hmm. That sounds very interesting. Well, I look very much forward to it.
Oh, I'm quite excited. I look forward to hearing your inputs on it and all. If there if you feel there's anything that we need to change and stuff, feel free to mention it to me, and I'll take it into consideration. This is, after all, a rehearsal. Nothing major, of course, because that'd be we wouldn't be able to make that. But maybe a line of dialogue here or there. It's just small bits. I'll, after all, criticism does improve the artist.
Of course.
Is Holcomb coming to the dress rehearsal so he can give
Uh,
you
he,
his two bits?
he's been invited. I have his name on the guest list. He has not confirmed that he'll be there, but I imagine that he will. There's no way that he would miss out on this great opportunity.
We were also quite interested in the after party. We heard you were having one, but is that here or
Oh
at the
yes,
theater
yes.
or some other venue?
No, it's here. It's here. We will have a dancing, libations, quite all the
Wonderful champagne.
celebration. Oh, of course.
Ah, yes, it shall be quite an evening.
Yes, we will. I'm going to invite some of my old friends I haven't seen before. Miss Cornwall. I plan to invite her. She's an actress, you know.
Ah, yes, I'm acquainted with Fair Lady. She
Oh,
quite the
wonderful.
libertine, I take it.
Oh yes, and that's why she always fit in when she would visit. I
Ah,
haven't seen her in a while. I do miss her.
I
You
see.
gave her an unusual sculpture of your own, I believe,
I did. Yes, the Jade Dancer.
the Jade Dancer. Uh, she said something about it being meant to protect her in some way. What sort of figurative sense could a piece like that protect one? If anything, it seems a bit on the dangerous side, risque, if you know.
Oh, yes. Yes. Well, I believe it has a an effect that you well, almost stun a person and give a lady time to get help if she needs it.
I'm,
Interesting.
if any woman seemed like she could handle a man in a moment of crisis, it was she. Thoughtful of you, just the same.
Oh,
Interesting piece. Are
oh,
you
thank you.
have you sculpted anything of note of late, or has it been all playwriting and music?
All playwriting. Oh, I wish I had the talent for music. That's why I had to hire outside help in that. Daniel Ridley. He just finished up the work. Yesterday, in fact.
Charlie's work.
Ah,
Oh, well, hey, there was all contributions. I wish Charlie could have finished it, but I was getting the indication that he wouldn't be done in time.
Well, Sir Edward seemed to have attempted to play some of it and was quite moved.
Oh, wonderful.
oh yes. I tried my hand at some of the loose leaves that Charles had left behind for the piano part. I gave it a shot, and it's one of the most moving things I had listened to in the realm of music. I mean, it the music itself. It was like an ecstasy of bleakness. I don't know
Oh,
how to expand
and
upon the
when you
description
say
beyond
that,
that.
he gets a look of elation on his face, like he is so happy that it had that effect on you. He's like going, "Oh, I knew I had hired the right men to do it. I wish that Charlie could have been around too
And that
see
was
it."
me working off of Charlie's score, not
Oh,
what Mr. Ridley has finished. I have no idea what all of the parts together what kind of
oh,
marvel it will be.
oh! It'll be wonderful. I Now, from what I understand, again, I'm not a musician. It is extremely complex, so I hope that the musicians tonight will be able to play it to
Yes,
honor.
without long fingers, it is really quite a workout between all those keys, keeping up with it.
And is
Mhm.
there a choral component as well?
Uh, well, he's like going to. There is a little bit near the end where the audience will add in their voices to it. We have a some cards that we'll hand out with the lyrics that we'd like you to sing along. Don't worry if you're not a an accomplished singer. Just do your best. That is all that we ask. After all, what's the worst? You sing roughly, but when in the grand scheme of things, when the world's been around for millennia, what's a few sour notes every once in a while?
Audience participation, then? Is that the only component of that?
Mm-hmm.
Toward the end.
Yes.
Are,
And
are
then
you drawing? Are you drawing your influence from like Dadaism?
Oh, no, it's completely from I've been seeing in my dreams and in my
Ah,
meditations.
you've been having visions as well.
Oh yes, I found that the opium opens the mind.
Indeed.
well, we don't
Well, we
want to be
don't.
in the way of your precisely, as Florian said, unless we can assistance of some kind.
We are of the same mind.
Oh well, we're about ready and all. Just was there any type of libations you would like me to have at the party tonight for you?
It sounds entirely like an absinthe sort of evening to me.
Ah, that sounds delicious.
Ah, yes.
Ooh, the Green Lady.
Yeah, so I will definitely have some absinthe for you to enjoy. Maybe
Well,
we
then,
can raise a glass together.
quite. Do we say break a leg to the playwright?
Break a leg.
You already have. So
Ah,
if then they see someone else and he goes over there rather cheerfully greets them. Someone else came in that you didn't recognize.
Well, I go back to looking at the little statue,
Okay.
pondering it.
Mm-hmm. Give me a power roll.
And is there? I forget if I asked if there was text written on it. I failed my power roll.
Okay. Let me look at the picture of it, see if there is text on it. Doesn't look like there is.
Okay.
So while you're staring at it for a bit, kind of like in the back of your mind, you like hear like that language talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
But when you make an effort to actually listen to it, it kind of goes away. It's almost like, if you aren't focused on it, you can hear it. But once you try and focus on it and concentrate, it disappears again.
Is there any of it that I can catch and keep in my head that I could try to pronounce? It's probably
Yeah.
odd in
Mm-hmm.
pronunciation.
It is. It is. You was that roll? Now I could never say the actual Cthulhu chant. You remember how it's pronounced?
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's what you make. Now you have no idea what
No.
it is, but it's like,
There's that word "ftagen" in my head.
exactly.
Maybe that's there because I had already heard the word. So
Yeah. The other four, you see Florian just kind of staring at the statue.
Florian,
about
a good man. I kind of.
It's quite the enchanting piece of artwork, isn't it?
Indeed, the workmanship is exquisite, and I cannot, despite my years of museum curation, place it. I would not have thought the Polynesians would be able to create such a detailed work. It's almost hypnotic.
My good man, let's get you some fresh air. I'm a little concerned about Florian's. I'm gonna kind of
Yes.
A
shove
glass
him.
of water, perhaps.
Oof, don't get the
Let's
cholera.
see. Yeah,
Take some
Gordon's getting the
wine or something.
heebie-jeebies, so he's wanting to kind of get out of the
Yeah. Yeah.
out of the space.
I can't
Oh.
help but think, Gordon, that, as I say before, something fishy is going on. I feel like Chillingsworth has some ulterior motives here. He didn't seem to be very pleased that we'd spoken to Whitlock.
Yes, indeed. Yes, he's quite an unsavory fellow.
Well, we'll know this afternoon.
Have you described what Chillingsworth looks like, Keith?
I
What is-
did. Let
what
me
features
go
are-
back to his description.
Jeez.
He's a handsome Caucasian man. He's a wavy light brown hair and sparkling eyes. He dresses in expensive clothing that are often wrinkled and partly unbuttoned.
Gotcha.
Baudelaire or
Yeah, classic romantic dashing villain sort. Do we are we getting out of this atmosphere and going someplace more wholesome?
well, how long until the dress rehearsal?
We'll say a couple hours.
We can go get lunch.
All right.
I fancy a nice rare steak.
I'm gonna make a little detour back to my flat to grab my pistol.
Okay.
I have that on my person.
Makes sense.
I'm dressed in my exquisite garb, best suit.
All right. All right. So you guys have lunch. Gordon grabs his pistol. And if you want, we can skip ahead to when you're showing up for the dress rehearsal.
I'm going to take my only preparation is I can only fire a long gun. I have nothing to do with handguns. I'm going to take two chop little puffs of cotton ball and roll little candle wax on them so that I can insert them into my ears if things get too raucous with this avant-garde music and whatnot. Just put those in a vest pocket.
Understood. Yeah. All right. So, when you show up at the theater, you see there are several people, lots of people showing up. Most of them are wearing in tuxedos and are quite well dressed. And you do see Holcomb. Holcomb is there. When you approach the door, there's a lady there that is checking names against the guest list. Of course, you guys, you guys' names are on there. So she's like, "Oh, enjoy the show."
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
How does Holcomb look?
Oh, he's dressed in a quite nice tuxedo. He's got his cane with him and a top hat.
Does he
And
seem peevish though, or curious?
no, he seemed doesn't seem upset. Just more curious is probably a proper word for it.
Is
Does
there
he
a
have
signed?
Does he have a date?
No, he does not.
Is there assigned seating?
Uh, yes, there is.
So we can see what he thinks of us if he assigned us, third row center, as opposed to way over by the edge.
You are fourth row, stage left.
Okay. Not bad.
Yeah. So, people are going around serving. They've got some glasses of champagne and canapes are being served, and yeah, it's quite a pleasant time. You don't see Chillingsworth or anyone in the the area where you guys are gathered waiting for the show.
Generally speaking, Keith, are the folks here like credit rating, 65 and above, kind of like for the most part, or is it fairly mixed, like class wise?
To notice that, I'm giving a credit rating scroll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what if do we look around and say, "Oh, that's Lord and Lady"?
That is a hard, yes, hard success.
So there are probably about a third of it are probably 70 to 80 credit rating, but half of them they look like people like are dressing up out of their price range.
Okay.
People we recognize at least.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
recognize some people that you saw at the club. You see some of the people that were at the Artist Mind, some of the
Okay. So there are like bohemian types, but that's not like the predominant like
right.
population. Okay, got
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah. You don't see anyone that was at the Clementine. Okay.
Oh,
Nor even smell any of them.
Yeah. About
I am.
yep.
I am very. I mean, I've been suspicious all this time. I'm playing along, but if I see them doing something like locking the doors, I'm going to become very alarmed, and I will make sure everybody else knows.
Yeah, Gordon is pretty hyper vigilant right now. He's really surveying the people who are there, and he's not eating any of the hors d'oeuvres or anything. He's
Okay.
I've had 7 canopies already.
Yeah.
They're delicious. So
Octopus.
Ooh.
About 8 o'clock, they kind of dim the lights, turn it back on, dim it again to kind of let you know that it's time to take your seat, and people start flowing in. The curtain is raised, and you can see that the set is a minimalist stage. It looks like it's built to reflect a parlor room in someone's residence.
Domestic scene.
Did they pass out little cards for us?
Yes, they did. Yeah, sorry. They give you a little envelope, and it says to open in the Act 3.
Oh, okay.
So, all right. Once you have your seats, of course, the orchestra starts playing, and it is the music that Sir Edwards, and all of you can give me a sanity roll to see how it affects you. Sir Edward, you don't have to because you've already heard it.
Okay.
14, which is
72 is a failure.
Okay.
I'm a failure.
1 point if you fail, 0 if you pass, and it just really kind of like as Sir Edward said, it really kind of emotionally affects you. Like it's like just one of those pieces of music that just really can get into your heart and make you feel something. All right. Once the play begins, a man walks onto stage. His wife greets him. She's like, "Oh, Bertie, it's wonderful to see you." He's well dressed, all in black, and for the first few minutes, it's a normal family morning scene. When Bertie gets up and leaves, he walks through a door on the set and off to the right of the stage. It looks like an outdoor scene, and a man walks up to Bertie, and he goes, "Have you figured out the joke yet?" And Bertie looks confused. He's like going, "That your life is a joke." And at that, Bertie gets upset, and the man laughs and walks away. When the lights go down, and when they come back up, you see Bertie coming back in. He goes through the door on the set. He comes into his parlor, and he's greeted by a woman and a child. However, it is a different actress and actor portraying his family. They go, "Oh, it's so wonderful to see you, Bertie. Home from work. We had missed you quite a lot." Birdie kind of looks at him, but he's trying to portray, that he knows something's off, but he can't put his finger on it. At this point, the music becomes particularly discordant, and some people in the audience they kind of fidget in their seat. You see a couple people, the women, they get up and they bring their date with them, and they walk out the exit the theater.
I'm putting in my cotton balls.
Okay. Act 2 opens up. Birdie is much more disheveled. It is a different actress playing his wife now. And he gets up and he storms out the door and he runs into the man that he had met in Act 1. And he pleads with him. He's like, please, explain to me what's going on. The man in black smiles and he goes, I already have. He goes, don't you see? Humanity is nothing more than an amusing distraction. We are a silly accident. We are a joke played by the gods. We are some sort of a gift for their amusement. This joke is told over and over again, and to achieve true happiness, you must see that and rise above the rabble. Birdie, of course. Yep.
But sometime in the middle of the act, curiosity has got the better of me. I'm going to quietly pull out the little envelope and open it and look and see what's written on it.
Okay. Let me share that with you. Okay.
It's like the sound that was in my head. I'm going to turn side to side to the ones next to me, my friends, and say, I think this is the language that we've run across. It has the same cadence and strange symbols.
Well,
we all
certainly.
have.
What is going on?
Do we all have the same thing?
I'm trying to watch.
Do we all have the same thing?
If we're reading them in unison, they have to be the same.
Maybe like one person kind of looks over their shoulder at you. It's like, right. Act 3 begins. Birdie comes down the steps. He's no longer sad. He's quite happy. His wife goes to greet him, and he just pushes her out of the way. And then he opens the door, and the man in black enters. And he goes, he's like, I see that you have accepted the truth. He's like, and you see what happiness you have when you no longer care for how others view you, the freedom that it comes. These human bonds and relations we make, they mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. So why should we invest in them? He's like, you understand now what the joke is. And Birdie goes, I do. In fact, I feel the need to say it out loud. And at that, he kind of looks out at the audience and he's like, please, everyone join with me to say the joke. And everyone can give me a sanity roll to see if you're able to.
31 is a pass.
All right.
Oh, wait.
Pass.
Yep. No trouble.
All right.
That's a critical fail.
All right. So if you pass, then it is up to you whether or not you want to read along with the audience. If you fail, you have this uncontrollable need to read what is on there with the actors on stage.
I will begin to pronounce it the way that I heard it in my head but I'm also watching everyone to see if there's a weird reaction or if my own mind starts to drift or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Yeah.
stop, but
Yeah. So Yep.
I'm going to recite the lyrics to God Save the King.
Okay.
I'm with Blake on that.
Okay. Archibald?
What the hell? I'll read it.
All right. So the first time out, kind of like Birdie's almost like a conductor, trying to keep the beat, so the audience is a little, takes in a bit to kind of get the rhythm down. The third time through, though, everyone is that is reciting it is, right on beat with each other. And you feel like there's just this energy kind of building and all, and while you're doing that, Birdie climbs up onto the table on the stage, and a noose drops down. He puts it around his head, and on the fifth time of when you say Fatagan, he hops off the table, and you are positive that his neck snaps. And with that, the curtain comes down, and you guys can all make a sanity check.
it's very good stagecraft.
83.
Still pass.
Womp womp.
I think it's the stagecraft.
I keep passing.
1 if you pass, 1d4 plus 1 if you fail.
2.
Okay. All right. With that, Chillingsworth comes out on stage, and the actors come out. You notice that Birdie is not one of the actors that come out for the final bow. Some people in the audience are clapping. Others are kind of like they're coming out of a daze. They all bow, and with that, Chillingsworth goes. He's like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are the first witnesses to my vision of a revelation of the truths of the world." He's like, "Come, please join me in my at my home to celebrate this." And all, I look forward to seeing all of you there, and look forward to hearing your inputs on what you thought.
Not a very happy play, was it?
When you say that, one of the women
I'm just
in
saying
front
it
of
quietly to us.
yeah, but one of the women in front of you turns around. She's like going, "Oh, I thought it was dreadful, dreadful, almost. What was the point? What's the point
I
of
think
such a downer?"
I think it's supposed to be provocative, like some of the new art. But I'm not sure how popular such a play would be.
I don't plan to recommend it. Ugh.
Do you suppose that the actor portraying Bertie didn't come out because he has to take off the apparatus?
Or
It was so convincingly like a hanging?
To make a point of the story, yes.
The audience think he really killed himself.
I
Certainly
suppose
looked
that's
that
what you're
way.
supposed to think. It would really not be a good idea to keep having to get new actors every single day.
Not a great deal of material to learn, though. So much of it was musical and staging. And I'd like to sort of bustle out onto the street. I want to see more, get a better impression of people's response.
Did you think of how strange it was that despite the bizarre spelling on the card, that the first pronunciation through was quite haphazard, but people kept somehow correcting one another. By the third time, we were all pretty much in perfect sync. It was quite bizarre, powerful.
I was quite caught up in that.
Who wants to take a peek backstage with me?
Oh, I'd like to see backstage, yes.
All right. We'll cut to Blake, who's outside, maybe talking to some people leaving and all.
Yeah, I want to get a look at Holcomb if I can. But
Mhm. Yep. So a lot of the people leaving, some of them, they say, "Oh, it was just a work of a pure nihilistic genius," and other people they're like going, "It was pretentious garbage," is what I thought. Um, Holcomb, when he comes out, he's kind of not talking to anyone, but he's got a little bit of a quickness in his step.
I say, Hokum,
He stops.
Walpole,
He goes, "Oh yeah, yes. What can I do for you?"
our boy Chillingworth has a great deal of his hopes and dreams set on this work. What do you think he passed his test?
Hmm. I think the man reaches beyond his abilities and doesn't
Mm.
know when to exercise discretion.
I would rather suspect that handing out cards with this sort of language could well, diminish, at the very least, the secrecy of the order. Do
Exactly.
you think he'll be? Do you think he'll be struck out?
I am almost positive.
And what about the after party? Do you plan to attend?
Hmm. I I will swing by, but I'm
And I,
going to check on something first.
Sir Wendell, or is his journey begun?
Oh, his journey has begun already.
Frankly, I'd have gotten onto some sort of schooner and gone farther out into the sea. The Thames is ruddy, filthy.
Oh, it is, but it is just the entryway.
Fair enough. We'll see you at the gala.
I'll see you then. He kind of walks off. Right. Well, getting back inside, you guys were going to try and
Archie, can you think of any criticism or
Well, for starters, it lacks a great deal in subtlety. I mean, the fact that
little
they just come out and tell you what the joke is.
preachy? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some kind of more subtle nuance to it would have been appreciated. Definitely, like I don't have like the nihilistic material is refreshing to see in the theater, but this is just overwrought, overdone.
About as
The music
blunt as
was
a
good.
hammer.
I
The
liked
music
the
was the
music.
best part. Honestly,
I mean, the discordant in places, and it really made you feel kind of sorry for the
Yes,
fellow.
the music was quite remarkable.
and that apparatus at the end, it was rather convincing. I'll give them credit for that.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what I wanted to check on.
Oh,
right. So, how are you going to try and do that? Are you going to try and go through like one of the side doors or
Isn't there
go
usually
just?
little steps going up onto the stage, and then you just
Mm-hmm.
go behind the curtain?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that was kind of my plan.
Okay. Yep. I just want to
what
make sure we
if,
were all on the same page.
with that in mind, and they've got to obviously do that, are there still a fair amount of people filing out here, lingering, talking, or is it like rapidly draining?
It's more of like the people, a lot of people, when the play's over, they kind of head out. Then you got the people that will linger around until the ushers start kind of
Right.
moving them along. So that's what's left in the theater, the kind of the people that want to sit there and talk with their fellow audience members.
Okay.
Was the place jammed full, or was it just
It
like
was probably about halfway full. So, there's
everybody
about,
sitting up front? Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
Well, Archie, if you want to take a peek back there, maybe I could. I'm no good at
I
sneaking behind curtains and the like, but I am good at
No,
being
I
loud
think
and
if you act with purpose, nobody's gonna bat an eye. So I'm just gonna very purposely go up the stairs.
Agreed.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow also confidently.
All right. So give me out of the two of you, give me whoever has the worst luck, give me a luck roll.
I have 75.
Edward didn't go with you with his terrible
No.
luck.
I did.
68.
Okay.
Okay, so I gotta
I'm
roll.
mingling in the meantime.
60 is my luck.
Oh, Florian's
So
worse than
60.
you, Gordon.
Florian has the first.
So Florian, give me a luck roll.
42 out of 60.
Okay, yep. Uh, no one's up there kind of like watching it closely. So as Archie said, yep, sometimes if you just act like you belong, people kind of assume you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Besides, we're friends with Chillingsworth, so
That's right.
yeah. So we pull
All right.
back the curtain a little bit and
Okay. When you pull back the curtain, you see hanging there is still I just forgot a birdie. I was like, I just forgot what his name was. You still see Birdie hanging there. There is a couple guys that are like, lifting him up, but he is not moving.
dear God. Is it a dummy?
Yeah. Can we tell from here if
I
it's
don't think so.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a dummy. Yeah, I mean,
my God.
I think I need another sample.
yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. When
I still passed. Apparently I like fuck the actor.
hate this, wasn't good actor. So,
He knew it was a stinker.
so they bring him down. They remove the noose from around his neck, and that's when one of them kind of looks over and sees you, and he's like going, "Oh, the exit's the other way."
We're friends
Oh,
with Chillingsworth.
Oh, he's should be headed back to his residence to greet the after party.
So he's
Yes,
not.
oh, our mistake. Sorry.
Oh, it's no problem. They got
Is
us.
that man all right?
Oh yes, yes, he's quite skilled in holding his breath. Unfortunately, it causes him to pass out.
Ah, I see. Can
Mhm.
I make a psychology roll?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. People can definitely hold their breath long enough to pass out. That's possible.
That's what people do. Yeah.
That
Why
is a hard success.
Okay. A heart. That's what you needed. Yeah, he's full of crap.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Okay. I'm going to say, gentlemen, I think we should head to that after party. They killed that man as we walk away.
Yes,
He
that
killed-
seems quite obvious.
He killed himself.
Now, I don't know if he knew that it was
Yes,
going
I
to be
wonder
three.
if these actors are aware of what they're. Did any of us get a chance to speak with one of the actors prior to the showing? I haven't spoken to any. No.
Mm-mm.
Well, that should probably all be at the after party. We can speak.
Yes,
This is going to be hard for them.
It must be a trick. It must be just a.
No, you keep saying that, Florian. It must be a trick. He must have used a ladder to get up to my balcony when you really do need to have a better grasp of what's going on, Florian.
Lauren, I'm with you as a fellow, disbeliever in this madness, but this is madness. We are dealing with a group of madmen, and it now has a body count, perhaps even more so than what what we know at this point.
Sacrifice. Let's go find Walpole and Armstrong.
Yes.
Armstrong's kind of out there. You were hanging out by the seat, so you invited him no problem. And once you exit, I'm assuming Blake that you kind of stayed out there, kind of talking to people, getting the impression. Seems like
Uh,
more people didn't like it than did like it, but
I think we'll come up behind Blake and put our hand on his shoulder and pull him aside.
Hmm.
The actor killed himself. It's not a fake. They're pulling the body down.
I didn't want to believe that, but obviously, this organization that Archie's been invited to join, a further offshoot of the club, it's all terribly occult.
Criminal.
Yes.
Chillingworth has any number of these young souls, either addicted to his opium or his bullshit or the magic that allows Sir Wendell to transform himself into some sort of fish man. I spoke to Holcomb about it casually, and he referred casually back to it as though it weren't odd at all for a knight of the realm to move into the Thames on his way to the open sea.
I think there is something more than fishy, as I said before, but now we're talking criminal actions, we're talking violence and possibly murder. They could have coerced him into thinking that he perhaps didn't, that there was a rig that would keep him from dying. But
There's also mesmerism to be considered. Um, and looking around, I refused to recite that chant. I find it rather unwholesome. So I was muttering something else, but there definitely was an aura, kind of sort of triumphant communal aura being developed. And if you think about it as a ritual rather than a somewhat lackluster theatrical piece, then culminating a ritual with a death is a
a suicide, sacrifice.
sacrifice, quite. And now we're going to another performance of dancing and song orchestrated by the same fellow. I think he's attempting some ritual in the same way that young Charlie was attempting a ritual when he levitated himself off his balcony and fell to his death. Part of me thinks about arson. Of course, I was thinking about that regarding that miserable Clementine Club too, although I'm sure upstairs some of the girls are in chains.
We light the building on fire. I mean, any of those poor souls trapped inside that aren't of the unwholesome sort.
Yes, no, that's out of the question.
Yeah,
And in
Peter.
this case as well.
Well, I wish to
I
go
like the way that
change.
you're thinking, Blake. I appreciate your line of
The
thinking
way
here.
things are going, it makes me wish my damn country rifle wasn't in Derbyshire.
I do wonder as we make our way to the chilling with Mance and see what else is in store. Oh, is there something else we can do to disrupt things if they get terribly out of hand? I feel like, a percentage of attendants tonight were somewhat swayed by the whole mystical affair, but most of them, the sort of muddle-headed regular Londoners that reject my work found this also very off-putting. But it drew some. There'll be repeat viewings, although again, there are only a few nights to do it. 3 nights, of course, is a mystical number.
So I would like just for to go freshen up a bit before we go.
Yes.
okay. All
What
right.
time is it when we're leaving the theater?
It's about 10:30ish. The play started at 8. It was supposed to be about a 2 hour play. So
Tell me, gents, how long do we plan on staying at this after party?
Until the bloodletting begins.
I see. With them killing people on stage, the more defensive part of me is tempted to tell Jamison that if I'm not back by a certain hour, to call the Bobbies.
Yes. Well, I don't know what to advise you on that front. I wish we could fill our pockets with water balloons or some such, something just disruptive that we could try to affect the occasion with.
I've been told that cayenne pepper in the eyes is rather painful.
Not sure where you could just get cayenne pepper, though.
Yes, that's the troubling thing, isn't it?
10:30 on a gaslight evening,
Yeah.
exactly flowing in the streets.
After
Well,
I freshen up and I rejoin everybody on our way to.
should we wait for you somewhere in particular, Florian? How long will you be?
10 minutes, 15 minutes. I have to use the little Lord's room.
Little Lord Fauntleroy. Okay. All right.
And you said, Gordon, I believe that you were bringing along your firearm.
Daddy
Oh
was.
no, he's fallen into oblivion.
Yes. No, I certainly bring that with.
That could
I do.
disrupt things if they begin to get out of hand.
Yes,
Just a release
absolutely.
into the air.
Yes. At least shake people from their reverie. I'm still just so consumed by those words that were in that damned play. I was so sucked in by that.
You
You
did
know, I heard them in my head before the play.
It
That is
reminds
how reading works, Florian.
it reminds me of those dreaded dreams that I've been having lately. Oh,
Yes, you too. Yes, I was drowning in the ocean. I could see a sunken city down at the bottom.
yes, and those damned guild hands pulling you down deeper into the depths.
Ah, same
Oh,
dream, same dream. Once again, dark magic of some sort.
uh, well, I don't know. Should we call an exorcist as well, or do we use good old fashioned violence and firearms to take down these evil bastards?
It still may all just be a performance.
Well, if they're
Well,
madmen, we need to bring the, we need to call the medical establishment and put them in Bethlehem.
Let's make sure of ourselves before we do anything rash.
Okay. All right. So you guys make it to Chillingsworth residence. There you hear like a not an orchestra, but like a four-piece playing inside. You hear people laughing and talking, but their laughter, it's not like when someone tells a funny story. It's almost an unhinged laughter that you're hearing coming.
lights on in all the windows,
Yep.
revelers visible going about. Yeah.
Mhm.
Their music playing.
Yeah, there's like a string quartet playing music.
Do I get a sense for the style of the music? It's
Like a waltz.
okay. So it's recognizable. It's not
Yeah,
just
not just
yeah.
not just
Yeah.
Crossed. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to meeting some of the wives of Bertie in there and asking them how they feel about their co-worker and rehearsals.
Oh, all right. You come on in.
Yes.
Yeah. You come in, you see in the first room, the room that the drawing room that had the table with the statue, the candles around it are lit and the shadows being cast by statue on the walls. They seem to move and writhe, and it seems to be casting shadows that doesn't quite match up to the shape. Sometimes it seems like the tentacles, or in the statue, they're rest flush against the body. In the shadows, the tentacles are moving around. And people are in here, and this is where the most of the laughter is coming from. People are just kind of staring at it and laughing almost, well, not almost, completely insanely.
They're getting the joke.
The next room over is where you can hear the string quartet playing, and so they're not. It doesn't sound quite as crazy.
A revel. I am drawn towards the room with the statue.
Okay.
Mind yourself, Florian.
Yes, of course.
If I find you laughing like that in 20 minutes, I'm going to splash a drink in your face and drag you into the street.
Well, I'm not going to do any drugs.
All right, so you're going into that room.
Yes.
I'll just go in the order I see. Archie, where are you headed to?
I'm trying to find the woman that I painted
Okay.
or tried to paint more accurately.
She's in the room with the string quartet because she has talked about how she was practicing her dancing. That's where she's at. She's dressed up, in like she's got like the powdered wig on and a dress, a French Revolutionary dress, and she's dancing with another man, but he's dressed the same way, but he's got his obvious makeup, but kind of made it supposed to look like his head had been decapitated and put back on.
Okay, it's quite the. Is there a number of people all dressed like similarly to them?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, this was the dance.
And Gordon?
I'm kind of standing back. I'm watching everyone. I'm trying to keep an eye on my compatriots, making sure no one sneaks up on them, that kind of thing. So I'm holding to the wall, and
Okay.
I'm just very very freaked out, just because it's really is not my crowd or scene, and also just what I've witnessed and what I now know. I'm very 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 uncomfortable looking.
I understand. Blake?
I'm looking for. I'm avoiding the cult room, looking around for Walpole, Chillingworth, and any of the actors I recognized who played Mrs. Bertie,
Okay.
and picking up drinks off trays and whatnot.
Yeah. And then finally Sir Edward.
I'm kind of a similar mindset of Underhill right now, in that I kind of want to be hyper vigilant, but I don't want Florian to be alone. So I'm being both vigilant, and I'm gonna walk among his crowd and stay relatively close to him. Not suspiciously, hovering right on his shoulder, but there.
Okay. All right. Okay, yeah. So in the room with the dancing, Archie, you see and kind of dance around. But one woman, she kind of spins around and then she stops in front of you and she puts out her hand to see if you want to dance along with her.
Sure.
Okay. Do you have any archcraft dancing?
Nope.
All right. Well, give me a roll. You got 5% chance.
Yeah, 36. That's a little steep on the luck
Yeah,
spend, so
yeah,
I'm
but
fucking it all up.
yeah, you're not quite getting on rhythm, and when she's expecting you to spin her to the left, you kind of go to the right, and yeah, it's kind of after a bit, she's like, "Oh, oh, you obviously haven't been practicing."
Obviously. Okay.
Okay. All right, and then Blake, you were going around talking.
Yeah, glad handing, but I have some targets that I'm more interested in talking to than
Right.
others.
Yep. Okay. Give me a. We'll just say you find one. You don't need to roll for that. And you see the first one you meet, you see is the woman that played his second wife, and
Um,
she introduced herself as Bertrice.
Beatrice, I hope all the wives aren't named Beatrice. That would be too confusing.
Oh, no. She's like going, well, it's wonderful to meet a fan.
Yes, I'm also a bit of a playwright myself, so it's wonderful to meet a
Oh,
talented actress. Um,
oh, really?
yes, I've staged 12 pieces over the last several years in the city. You may have heard of the Turgid Swan. That made a bit of wave.
Uh, yes, of course. She kind
So
of chuckles at your pun.
I must ask about your rehearsal process because the piece is quite unusual in that it requires, I think, a different performer every night for the lead.
Oh, what do you mean?
I expect that you must have a because the actor. I mean, it's a pity, by the way, they weren't programs. Um, I should get. We'll give you my card so that you can get in touch with me later. Um, but you didn't rehearse the part of Bertie with all four performers.
No. No, only Jack.
Jack. What's Jack's last name?
Oh, Johnson.
Hmm. Um, he was quite convincing in his blandness and then his moroseness and then his jollity and that remarkable final effect. Did you watch that from the wings when he plummeted?
No, no, I didn't. I'd seen him do it a few times during practice and all. The harness seemed incredibly uncomfortable.
An extra burden on a performer already carrying so much on his own.
Hmm. Yeah, but
Mm.
whatever for the art.
Always for the art. Do you backstage also sing the choral bit?
Oh, of course, we Chili Ernest felt that if we were if it was coming from the audience, from the backstage and all, it would echo much better and have a more powerful effect.
Hmm. Did he tell you anything about where it came from or what it could possibly mean? It seems like utter gibberish at first glance.
No, he didn't. I mean, we could go ask him.
Well, I owe the men further congratulations. Let's pick up a little champagne or something stronger and have a chat.
Okay, yeah. She's like, oh, waiter, and they bring over there. And then when they have it, she's like, well, he's up in his office. He plans to make a grand entrance later on, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind hearing from you.
I'm sure he does plan a grand entrance. I'm going to try a psychology roll on Bertrice.
Okay.
Just, oh, wait. I have a pretty good one, I think, but no, I'm not going to, no, not enough.
Yeah. Okay.
So my impression broadly is that she has no idea that he's dead.
Okay.
Jack hanged himself. Uh, yeah, I'm a little anxious that she's taking me to his office to the slaughter, but I'm just gonna go with it.
All right. Okay. So the Florian, you're in the room with the people kind of laughing. Some are starting to almost bow down to the statue.
Are they moving around the statue or
Not in any like thing that would be like organized, but people, they mill about naturally. All right.
when I look at the statue and I think about the words, do I feel anything?
Yeah, you do. You feel like, I don't want to say like calm, but like, where what you're feeling, you have almost like, okay, I can accept the truth, even though it's horrible, and there's some comfort in that it's no longer mysterious, but it's not a calming feeling at all.
Um, do I see any? How many people are in here?
8.
Oof, far too many. Uh, I'm going to basically scope out the room
Mm-hmm.
and look for opportunities uh, or opportunities that might come later.
Yeah.
But it looks like at the moment there's nothing I can do. So I'll eventually wander back out where everybody else is.
Okay. And Gordon and Sir Edward, you guys were I pictured you were kind of hanging out in the hall so you can kind of keep an eye on both rooms
Yeah,
between the two of you.
my end probably a little bit closer to the entrance to where Florian went with the statue room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just generally keeping an eye on things, trying not to bring any untoward attention towards myself.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, Blake, as you are going up the steps with Bertrice. She's talking about how like after this is over, if you have a play, she's looking for a job essentially. Yeah. Oh,
I'm always on the lookout for new talent. Absolutely. That
oh,
Johnson fellow impressed me as well. The cast in general I thought was quite good. Material being somewhat mysterious.
yeah. It was challenging. I you might have I just didn't quite understand what he was trying to get across, but it's a paycheck.
Yeah, I think it's his first play. I think it's very ambitious. I think a lot of people left rather confused. Um, but I think he should be encouraged.
Yeah,
And
that's
a
exactly
paycheck is a paycheck.
exactly. And she comes to the door and she goes to turn the knob and it's locked, which she kind of catches her off guard. She's like, "Oh, this he rarely locks this door."
Yeah,
She
so doesn't seem to lock much after all.
no, no.
Did you
And
call him Ernest or?
Ernst.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um. Well, I'm just gonna knock, and so she knocks at the door. You hear Ernst's voice, and he goes, "Who is it?" She's like, "It's Bertrice." Oh, I'm sorry. What was your name again?
Walpole, Blake Walpole.
Oh, Mr. Walpole was wanting to speak with you. He's like going, uh, tell him I just need a minute.
Of course, if you'd like, if you need time to change or whatnot,
Oh, no, 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 no. He's like, thank you, Bertrice. And she's like going, oh. She's like, do you have a card, Mr. Walpole?
of course.
Oh, thank you. Oh, she takes that, and she kind of goes down the hallway. The you hear the door unlock. It opens up, and you see Chillingsworth standing there smiling. He's like, "Oh, Mr. Walpole, it's wonderful to see you."
You as well. Congratulations on, I think, a very fine final rehearsal.
Oh, well, thank you. He's like, "Come in, come in, come in."
Thank you.
Okay,
Was it everything you hoped for?
it was, and you can give me a spot hidden.
Oh dear. 52 is not a success.
Okay,
Um, But I am anxious about being brought up here and then left with him, so I'm going to spend 7 luck.
Okay. All right. Good, because with that, out of the corner of the eye, like how the door opened into the office, and when you kind of step past it, you see a extremely large man that was behind the door, and he is swinging the Jade Dancer at your head. And since you spent the spot hidden, you can actually try and avoid it or fight back.
Yeah. I'll throw myself to the floor. Dodge of 27. Why don't I ever put more points in dodge?
Who does
27 on the nose. So he better not get a hard.
He didn't. He got a regular. So he kind of swings and you kind of dodge out of the way, and you can feel the air as the statue kind of went past your side of the head.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to go to the hallway, which involves slamming that door against this fellow on the way, just so I can, bound down out of the danger.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you can kind of get there, and you maybe you push the door because, to slam it into him, you'd open the door even more because the door swings into the office. So, is that what you're wanting to do, or are you trying to maybe pull it shut behind you?
Well, so I'm picturing it comes in. I'm walking with Walpole. I see movement. I dodge out of the way. Yeah, I think I'm hitting the door to sort of bounce off and go out the open door. I don't want to pull it.
Right. Yeah.
Slow myself.
Yeah. Give me a combined dex strength roll because it's not really a brawl. You're just pushing it, but see if you got enough.
Oh, 39 is a success for both dex and strength.
Okay. Yeah.
Regular.
Regular. So you kind of push it into him. It hits him, and he kind of stuns him enough that he takes a step back or anything. It's not going to injure him or anything. But okay, yeah.
And his office is up 1 flight. Is that right?
2 flights.
2 flights. So I'm likely to catch up with Beatrice on the way down, which might not be friendly.
Yeah. Okay. So you take off running. Down in the other room, the dancers they're dancing around, and Archie and Gordon, you were looking in on the dancers, right? You can give me a spot hidden.
15 is just shy of an extreme.
Mine is a regular success.
Okay. All right. You see in that little ballroom, it's not really a ballroom, but that's what we'll call it. There's a door that was cleverly built into the wall. It opens, and you see these men come out. They've got large eyes, and they're almost a bent over shuffle, and they start pushing some people out of the way. And Archie, you're pretty sure with that roll that they are coming directly at you.
It's time that we make our exit.
Oh, okay. Yes. And I'm pulling out my gun and pointing towards them as I'm backing out. Stay back. Backing out.
All right. As soon as you pull out a gun, the dancers, one of them sees you, and they start react like people do when you have a gun pointed at them. They kind of panic. So Edward and Florian, you hear this scream come from the ballroom of the woman that's probably afraid because Gordon's got a gun out.
I turn that way and I make eye contact with Florian with a look of that's bad.
Does the distraction provide an opportunity?
If you could pass a stealth or a sleight of hand, yes.
18.
Oh, that's a good roll.
Out of 20, so just barely.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right. and then I make my way out to see what's going on.
Okay.
Hearing the commotion, I think I might be. I don't haven't drawn it, but I've got one of my hands on the handle of my cane.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
this makes a pretty good weapon too, just as it is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good little club. Um, okay, so we'll just kind of go in order here because we've got a lot of moving pieces. So Blake, you kind of take off, and I'm going to go ahead and give me a Constitution roll for running. Here's Chillingsworth's.
I'm on 50 and I got 61.
Yeah, I rolled a 61 also for him. So he felt his con roll also. So he actually is going a little bit slower. His my move is seven now.
And mine is 8.
Okay.
Or it's 8 in general. Is it 7 because of the con?
Yeah, 7 because of the con.
Nice
Okay.
move.
It's usually up by your characteristics. It's like I think
Yeah,
Oh,
like right by
You-
PAL.
it's easy to calculate yourself too.
Yeah.
It's not too difficult. It's just about if your dex is higher than your size and your
Yeah.
con or
It's
Size-
if Dex and Strength
size and
are higher than
higher.
size.
size.
then you
If
run.
one of them if one of them is higher and one of them is lower, then it's 8. If they're both lower, it's 7. If they're both higher, it's 9.
Yep.
Something like that.
And if one is a
that's
higher and one is
exactly.
a tie, it's 8.
Yep.
What if size is larger than Dex?
Then you will. And what's your strength to your size?
Oh, strength is 50.
And
So
your size?
strength
they're-
is 50, size is 65.
Okay,
and
then
Dex
your movement 7.
is okay.
Yeah.
I didn't print out the second sheet of my.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you are going sprinting down to the steps there, Blake. Okay. All right. Give me a dex not to fall down the steps as
Sure.
running down steps is.
And I was wondering, the oversized fellow who tried to, did he have a fishy odor in Buggy Eye?
No, he didn't.
Just a thug. Just a
Mhm.
regular old thug. Well, I got a hard
Okay.
on
Yeah.
my dex.
You don't fall down the steps. You're able to kind of go down. About when you get to the second level, that's where Bertrice is. She naturally looks up when she hears it thumping down the stairs.
Does she look confused or alarmed?
She looks confused.
All right, then I'm not going to knock her down the stairs as I run.
Okay. All right. Archibald and Gordon, you are backing away, and
Yep.
Have they paused?
yeah, they are. They don't want to get shot. And, they can suffer as much as is it, and they're like going. They kind of have a gurgly talk. They're like going. She's like it's like you don't understand. You're meant for greater things.
Not today, fellows. Stay right there, and I'm gonna back out and shut the door.
Yeah, I'm right behind you.
Yeah.
Making my
All
way
right.
to the nearest exit.
A gentleman, it's
Yeah.
time to leave. I'm gonna kind of tell them, gentlemen, time to go.
Okay. And then Sir Edward, the front door opens up, and there is Theodore Holcomb standing there. He when he sees Gordon with a gun, he looks confused.
You know what? Seeing his gun out, things are bad. At this point, I want to try and I'm just gonna reflexively draw my sword cane and point at him. Stay back! But I'm not gonna go just straight swinging at him. I want to like hold my action that if he tries anything, I'm going to swing at him.
Okay. And we got about 10, 15 minutes left, guys. Just so you know, I know we're at 2, but we're right at the end there. Okay. All right. And then Florian, you said you were going to, so the nearest exit's the one that Mr. Holcomb came in.
So does Holcomb look like he's opposed to us, or is he opposed to Chillingsworth?
He looks right now just confused, like what is going on? Yeah.
I say, Holcomb, we don't know what's going on here, but these brutes have shown up.
Oh.
And I'm going to sort of move as if I'm taking refuge behind Holcomb.
Okay.
So that I can just go.
Yeah. He goes, "Where's Archie?"
I think he's over there somewhere.
We're kind of headed that way.
Yeah. Archibald.
Lord Holcomb.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like we must go.
Yes, things are quite out of hand here.
Okay, so he has you exit with him, and Blake, you hear a grunt, and you immediately recognize that someone's throwing something at you. So, do you want to dodge, or just trust that he's going to fail his throw?
You're muted.
I'll try to dodge.
Okay.
I was pretty lucky last time. Not this time.
Well, you were pretty lucky because I rolled a 98 for his throw.
Worse than my 85. Bravo.
Yeah. So, the Jade Dancer, you see it come, that green statue comes flying by. It hits Bertrice, and she just drops like a rock. So as she's
does it shatter?
No, it does not shatter.
I'm tempted to stoop and grab the thing.
Okay.
I mean, it fell down the stairs probably after.
Yeah, after it hit her.
Yeah. I'm going to grab the railing with my right hand and the statue with my left, if it's not too slick with her blood, and continue to throw myself down the stairs.
All right, give me a power roll.
Oh, yes. A regular pass. 62.
All right. Yeah, you get a sense of vertigo for just a brief moment. And right about before you feel like you're going to fall down the steps, you kind of refocus and you continue on down. All right, so everyone else was leaving.
Yep.
Yeah. Holcomb looks at Archie, and he's like going, to move up requires a sacrifice. Do you mind helping me nail the door shut? We will burn this house down.
What?
Yeah, you know, I really appreciate it. But I no, thank you. No, thank you.
I am disappointed, but I understand. So he gets out. He has this bag, which is what he left to go get. He gets out some wood, and he starts to close the door. So Blake, you see the front door starting to shut.
Wait. Our good man is still in there.
Did I manage to get around him when I out?
Yeah, he wasn't stopping you guys.
Oh, okay.
I see Holcomb with the board and a hammer, and I hold the Jade Dancer out as I stagger toward him.
He's like going, "Oh, that's convenient. Come on." He's like, "Come on out. I'll take care of this myself."
What's he doing? What's he doing, for God's sakes?
And then
I think he plans to burn everybody inside.
Everyone get out!
No,
He's like going, oh, I've already taken care of the back door.
And blast. Well, they're around for windows. It'll take him a little time. I think I'll go around and start smashing windows with the Jade Dancer.
Okay.
I'm not sure I understood. Keith, did you say that he said that they could leave?
He said that you guys could leave because he likes you guys.
yeah.
Good at billiards, what?
So basically, the decision is: do we stop him from burning this place down, or do we attack him?
Do we let him do it? Essentially.
Keeping in mind that there are dozens or scores of innocents inside, also some monsters, and Chillingworth himself, who's hell-bent on something awful.
Not sure that
So
we
I'm trying
have
to take the middle road.
compunction to think about all the other people when our own lives are threatened. I'd have already run out the door.
Yeah, I think I'm also like, when he's just nailing that door,
I don't even know about the nailing of the door.
yeah, Florin and I are just
Gloria has vanished into the night.
Yeah.
I'm actually just standing on the front street going, cabby, I need a cab.
Do not recommend play.
Gordon's kind of considering, what Blake is saying about that there's innocence in there as well, because he knows that there are, monsters in there that probably need to die, and he's mulling it over in his head whether or not to stop both of them.
Yeah. And Blake, you're breaking out the windows?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And if the people who don't look insane are trying to get out, I will, help them.
Yep. Okay.
Out and whatnot.
No problem. If you just kind of do that, most of the people that were dancing, they get out with you because they were just artists that were there. They just, hey, this guy's going to give us free drugs. Then once he's done with that, you see he mumbles some words, and you see a flame kind of leap from his hand to the door. And anyone that sees that can take a sanity roll as you see real magic.
15 is a pass.
All right.
Has he sealed himself inside?
Nope.
No, he nailed the
outside.
Or nailed it shut.
60 is right on the money.
All right.
I got a 2. I guess the Jade Dancer is protecting me from
protecting. Yeah. And yep. The place burns down when if you stick around and watch when Chillingsworth tries to leave. Holcomb he casts another spell, and Chillingsworth suddenly his body just kind of shrivels up and cracks, and as he shrivels him.
I hope Archie knows not to cross Holcomb.
Yeah, and he kind of takes his hand, brushes it off, puts his white gloves back on, and turns around, and he's like going, sorry that you had to see that. He's like going, I appreciate your interest in the Pacific Club, but I think that we're going to reassess who we invite in from now on. It's like Sir Whitlock was hopeful that humankind was ready to expand their knowledge, but I disagreed, and now that I am in charge, it's my decision.
Understood. Well, good luck with the order and the club and everything. Good night to you.
Good evening.
Yeah. Okay.
Hell out of here.
All right. Yeah, there you go. Florian, what'd you sleight of hand out of there?
So I probably head back to my place. I'm very concerned for everyone, but probably I saw that they were all getting out. I don't know what was going on I didn't know about the fire or any of that. So once I get home, of course, I take off my tux, my tails, and reach back and I pull the statue of Cthulhu out of the pocket that I secreted it into and
Nice.
put it on a shelf, maybe.
Yeah,
In my library.
I
We'll
like
get
it.
to the worshiping later.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, sounds good. Right. Um, as a quick summary before I explain, about 5 or 6 years later, Archie, um, when you start looking in the mirror, you notice that your eyes are they larger than they used to be? And what are these bumps on the side of my neck? But maybe I should look into my ancestry.
So Archie was already of that cast.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Interesting.
so essentially, there was a schism in the cult, and Chillingsworth was trying to break away. They both had seen whoever's whoever was the first character to really start buying into what it is. They're supposed to be the one that is, oh, they're the ones that has deep ones in their ancestry. And so they had both foreseen him, and that's why they were both all interested in him and welcoming them all in there. The rest of you were expendable that that Chillingsworth was just going to sacrifice.
Wow.
And
Well, I'll have to reassess my whole stance towards this
yeah,
here organization.
that's why they were so interested in having him take up leadership. They're like, oh, he's already bloodline.
Now that makes
I just
sense.
wanted to paint. I
That's
never asked
probably-
for any of this.
It's
Yeah,
probably
fish
not
people.
too much longer than that Archie notices the little statue that I stole.
Yeah. Maybe it
Calls to him.
calls to him. The Clementine Club, that was where they were essentially making deep one hybrids against forcing those women to. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully a lot of the brass got burnt up, so it might be with Gordon getting some friends involved. We might be able
Yeah, I was organizing like a
Yeah.
possibility to
It went
keep them
Went
out in
past-
our
went past my expectations. I thought for sure this was the King in Yellow.
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's probably
Every
what
time there's a
plays.
theater.
Yeah.
that.
I knew that this scenario was from Cults of Cthulhu. I still don't
Yeah.
own that book
Ah.
or anything about the scenarios, but I know the gimmick of Cults of Cthulhu is, yeah.
Cults
In
of
the name.
Cthulhu.
And is the Jade Dancer just a nice piece of rock that
Yeah.
he
It's
carved?
Yeah, it's like a MacGuffin. Yep. Mhm.
Well, when you said she can use it to defend herself, I thought, yeah, she could smash it into somebody's head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
if you get
exactly
hit
what
with
they
it,
were using
yeah, if you get hit with it, it like automatically knocks you out.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's rough.
Cool.
Yeah, that was a rare smart luck spend for me.
It was, yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Keith, for running that for us.
Yeah, that was fun. First Gaslight game.
Yeah, same.
Our players included Troy Wheeldryer, David Gassaway, Morgan Llewellyn, Sham Sabin, and myself, with Keith Craig as the Keeper of Arcane Lore. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for this show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.